D. Your husband's not who you think he is.
Why did you lie?
She's starting to ask questions I can't answer. Maybe I was wrong about everything.
Sophie, what's going on?
Just putting the pieces together.
It's so perfect world.
Hey, this is Aurora Folks from the Nocturnal. How's everyone doing?
Hi,
Good.
good,
How are
thanks.
Good. So I just want to get into this. Throughout the series, we witnessed Sophie try to regain her memory and a sense of self. If both of you were in the same kind of scenario, what is something from your life that you could immediately help you kind of just trigger your memory?
Gosh, probably smells. Scents are so, evocative, I would say. I love being a tourist myself. I'm quite sense driven. So probably that would definitely, help lead me back to places. That and music as well, like we have in the show.
Yeah, I'd definitely say music.
Oh, definitely. Music and sense of smell is like two of the biggest things to kind of bring you back to any type of memories. It's great.
They're so powerful.
So powerful. And Oliver, you mentioned that Surface Script was a real kind of like page turner for you. Did you automatically see yourself as James when the script came to you? And what were your initial thoughts when you got it?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I was sort of really banging on Gugu's door and Hello Sunshine's door, being like, "Hello, it's me. Can you let me come in, please?" That I hadn't read something that was that kind of compelling, that sort of Moorish compelling stuff that wasn't that wasn't fluff. There's such density to these scripts and to this story that I just really wanted to be a part of it. And I think the kind of the ability to be able to play someone like James, who there's so much conflicting stuff going on with him, it just felt like sign me up.
Absolutely. And the story is very, very complex. And Gugu, just going back to that, you've embodied such versatile, complex characters, such as Ravana and Loki. What kinds of challenges did you come across in playing this really multifaceted character, Sophie?
Oh, that's the kind of role I gravitate towards, because I genuinely believe we are all multifaceted human beings. And, sometimes drama and entertainment, I think, sometimes can oversimplify things, which is fine. But for me, I think I get more satisfaction from working on stuff that's more nuanced. So for me, so many challenges, emotionally and physically, with things like the running and the horse riding and the underwater sequences and all of that. But ultimately incredibly satisfying. Roles like this don't come around every day. So as soon as I read this script, I kind of jumped on it, and to be able to be an executive producer as well and have that side to learn about, it was just incredibly stimulating. And working with this incredible cast as well, Oliver, Stefan James, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Ari Grainer, there's just the quality of actors on this show has just been incredible. So I felt so well supported and grounded with everyone.
Oh, absolutely. And it was a pleasure to watch. Definitely kept me guessing each character throughout all the episodes. You guys did an excellent job. I loved it. And we're happy to see more, and we'd love to see you premiere. Thank you so much for sitting down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Stefan. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing great.
Good.
So you've taken on very well-known characters such as John Lewis in Selma and Jesse Owen in Race. In Surface, Baden is a character kind of shrouded in mystery. What kind of approach did you find yourself taking to his character?
I would say that, to be honest, it was just fun. In a weird way, I think that a lot of Baden's mystery and darkness and edge is like stuff that I have within my own personal life. And so it was just a way of exuding some of those emotions 10x through this character, through this undercover cop. So it was just very, very fun. Struck me as something different, something new, and something exciting.
Definitely, and definitely seemed like something different that you've done. So we really like to
Yeah.
hear that range for sure.
Hmm.
And I actually want to circle back to this. You've actually got your start on Canadian TV shows such as Degrassi. I love that show, hands down. Used to watch it all the time. And since you've gone on to snag a lot of roles in film, so which medium do you kind of find yourself gravitating towards more? And is there another one that you'd like to explore?
um, I would say that, it's kind of agnostic at this point, right? Like it's like it's the platform could really be anything as long as the story is great. And story is the foundation of everything. And so, am I crazy about television like in the long sense? Nah, but whenever I get to do something for 1 or 2 seasons, that's very, very exciting for me, because you get to be in a position where people are living with your character for weeks on end, getting familiarized with you in a way that's not totally possible in movies. And so, they each have their pros for sure.
Absolutely. I feel like it's a different approach to the character and just a different way to kind of explore that with the
Yeah.
audience. It was really great
Hmm.
to see. I'm glad I was able to catch a few episodes. So I'm fortunate for that. And if you could describe one word, like best to describe Surface to someone coming in like completely blind, they didn't read the synopsis, have no clue, what word would you use to describe it?
Dang, just one word?
I gave you two. In
You
fact,
give me
I
two.
gave you
Okay, cool.
you got a
Cool,
sentence.
cool, cool.
Go ahead.
I'll say trust. Trust is the first one, right? What is this idea of trust? Who can we trust? And then the second one would probably be unpredictable. It's just you never know where this story is going to take you. You never know where these characters are going to take you. You don't even know who they are. Even after a full season, I'm not sure that people will totally know who these people are. And so those are the two: trust and unpredictable.
Totally see that. That the audience will definitely be able to take that away from this series, and I'm sure they're gonna love it. And I just want to speak to the dynamic of your character with Gugu's character as well. It's
Mhm.
really something that kind of expands, and there are a lot of layers to it. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean it's been great. I mean, I think that that's part of the reason why I took on a show like this. For me, you got a guy who's found himself in the middle of this investigation, doing his job, his professional duty. But then, personal feelings get in the way, personal sentiments. And, for me, just having that be a constant dynamic within the series, a constant conflict uh, for Baden and for Sophie as well, right? And just understanding sort of where we were headed, um, was something that was just so cool to play, and just uncovering the layers of who I am, of who she was, who we were together, before all this happened, I think is something that, I really appreciated about the process.
Amazing. And we love to see it, and we're ready to see more from you as well. All the best. Thank you so much for saying
Incredible.
that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
So you've gone on to produce and write about such strong, multifaceted female leads. What inspires you to tell these kinds of stories?
Well, I'm just trying to tell interesting stories, and the fact that those leads happen to be female, I feel like that's something that shouldn't be notable, almost in a way, And the more we can put those stories out there, the less it becomes about a woman's story or a niche project, and the more it just becomes a thriller that's for everybody to watch. And I hope there's things in this show that draw in all audiences.
Agreed, and I definitely think there will be after watching it. And Gugu Mbatha-Raw and Oliver Jackson-Cohen's characters really kept me guessing throughout like the entire series. During casting, when did you know that you had found your Sophie and your James?
Well, Gugu joined us from the very beginning. She was an EP on the project, and she signed on before we even sold it to a network. So I've been lucky to collaborate with her on this story from the very start. And when we found Oliver, it just became clear that they had this crazy chemistry and this intensity together that could really keep you guessing and make you think. In some ways, it was star-crossed lovers, and in other ways, toxic, So I think that's something Sophie and James are still trying to figure out which one of those is the truth, but it's something that makes for great drama.
Oh, absolutely. Like I was on the edge of my couch cushion. This was something that really, really kept me honestly guessing throughout all of it. So that was a wonderful job. And
Thank
as the,
you.
of course, and as the creator, showrunner, and executive producer, what is it that you kind of want the audience to leave from with this series?
Well, there's sort of a larger existential question that I think the season and the whole series is going to pose, which is, if you were given a second chance, Sophie wakes up, she's a blank slate, right? She doesn't remember the traumas that shaped her. She doesn't remember what happened. So, in this idea of like nature versus nurture, she's rebooted. Is she going to go forth and make the same mistakes? Is she pre-programmed to like fulfill this destiny, or is she going to become somebody new? Would we all become somebody new if we had a second chance, or are we like destined to be the people that we are? And I think that's an interesting question that it's going to take a long time to answer, or if ever.
Exactly. I feel like that's something people can always kind of play with the idea around, but it's such a complex like thing to think about. So seeing it in this series play out is really, really interesting. And if you could use one word, just one or two, to best describe Surface to viewers, what would it be? One might be hard, so maybe two words.
It won't be what you expect. That's what I think you can take away from the series. Every episode, we tried to double down on what happened before it. We weren't afraid to get weird and go places with these characters that you didn't expect. So what you think you know when you start the show is not what you know at all.
Exactly. Everything is not as it appears on the surface. So thank you.
Nailed it.
Thank you. I had to. Thank you so much for your time and sitting down with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.